Welkom terug. Ons gesels nou met professor Howard Phillips, 'n kenner oor die Spaanse Griep, om te hoor wat ons kan leer uit die geskiedenis in die lig van die huidige COVID-19 pandemie. Hello, Professor Phillips. Very nice talking to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, and greetings to you and to your viewers.
Just to quickly remind our viewers what exactly happened in 1918, if you don't mind.
The last year of World War I, and a pandemic of unprecedented magnitude swept around the world in three waves, starting in March 1918. South Africa largely escaped the first wave, and it's the second wave, which was really the lethal wave, which hit South Africa at the end of September, beginning of October 1918. And in the space of 6 weeks, it killed 300,000 or so South Africans. That's 5 or 6% of South Africa's population. And most unusually, and this was a feature of the pandemic, not just in South Africa, but globally, it killed particularly young adults, those in the age group 18 to 40. And there are a whole lot of consequences which flow from that maybe I can mention. But overall, the pandemic across the whole of the globe, it left no country untouched and claimed, no one knows for certain, 50, 60, 70, 100 million people in the space of just over a year. Nothing like it, nothing like its speed or nothing like its magnitude had been experienced before.
What were the consequences of the age group, especially, I suppose, agriculture?
Agriculture, but just think back a moment. Young adults, that means in many cases young parents, which means that orphans were created on a scale and at a pace never before and never since. I could estimate maybe 900,000, maybe 1 million orphans created in the space of a couple of weeks. Now, that doesn't disappear. Those orphans, their lives have been broken, their lives have been shattered. I remember interviewing an old man of 90 in the 1990s, and he said to me, I was 10 years old when my mother died in 1918, and I have missed her ever since. So there's a cloud hanging over that man's life, his whole life, emotional, psychological, economic, financial, social consequences right through generations.
Professor, what good can come from pandemics? We've had a few in South Africa. I'm thinking of a recent one, the HIV pandemic, and you wrote that NGOs was something that flourished after that. Just to end off on a better note, what should we learn and what good can come from this?
What we should learn, one of the things in 1918, which is very marked, is the absence of any kind of overarching health authority. In 1918, South Africa did not have a public health department. It came in 1919 as a consequence of the flu. So that's one of the consequences, which is very significant because it's that same health department which is in existence today. But the other point is that it is necessary always for reliable information to be provided for a population. Information, reliable information, is one of the weapons that one can use to counteract an epidemic. And I cannot emphasize that enough, how important it is to make sure that the population knows what is happening with as up-to-date and reliable information as possible. That's really a major consequence. In 1918, that was not true. In 1918, there was no overarching health authority. Those are two very big lessons which come from the failures of 1918.
Are we happy to rely today, do you think, on the government and the message that it's sending?
It appears to be saying all the right things, spelling out policies, and we will hear tonight whether the new policies. But South Africa has a very long issue of a gap between what people say and what policies are spelled out and what actually happens on the ground. And we cannot allow that gap to grow wide, because that does mean often that one thing is said and something else is done. That's a disaster.
Thank you so much, Professor. Just to remind us to also take responsibility for ourselves, I suppose, and to learn from history. Good to check in with you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Stay well.
Een ding is seker, elke keer het die wêreld, lande en samelewings 'n reis na 'n traumatiese gebeurtenis. Net so sal ons opstaan na hierdie pandemie. Daar is baie te leer uit die geskiedenis. Dankie dat jy saamgekyk het hier uit my huis uit Kaapstad. Dis lekker om te gesels. Stuur vir my 'n e-pos na prontuit@aktueel.tv. Tot volgende week. Mooi bly.